Dragon Ball Super is a handful of days away, and we are still left in the dark on the happenings of the movie. But with the help of a very special guest, we will attempt to fully break down the entire plot of Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I would like to welcome the channel's first ever guest speaker. Some of you may know him as the guy that likes to go deep on Dragon Ball Super manga theories, ideas, predictions, all of it. It's the one and only Galactic MJ. How you doing, dude?
Yo, yo, yo. How you doing, everyone? How you doing, ScoobyDrue?
I'm doing good, thanks. It's nice to have you here, man. I've been following you for a few months on Twitter. Be sure to give him a follow. He posts so many in-depth theories and breakdowns on the Super manga. It's unreal. He makes predictions that happen before it happens, which I suppose is the whole point of a prediction. But yeah, you get it right so often. How do you do it, man?
To be honest, I'm really into the narrative of Dragon Ball. I think that's what's the most interesting thing to me. So when I see a narrative being formed and created, I always try to not necessarily get everything pinpointed on what's going to happen, but try to just see if I understand the narrative. And if I understand the narrative, I'll be able to predict Dragon Ball.
Right.
And I think that's what's been so successful.
So you're saying it's more of a correlation of looking at the narrative and kind of seeing the end goal and looking at it that way?
Yeah, and then just connecting the dots on how they get to the end goal.
Cool. So sometimes do you see Taro or Toriyama throwing a curveball?
Literally last chapter.
Yeah, there's a huge divide in the fandom right now on the recent Bardock and Granola situation, and yeah, we'll leave that one there. It's up to your own ideas on how that one's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm so lost right now on the chapters. So
it's hard, isn't it? Like, you want Vegeta to win, but then you just go, he's not gonna get the W.
there's so many like narratives, and there's so many ways it could end. It's like, do you know what? I might just read it now and not make any more predictions.
Yeah, reread it and pick like 4 or 5 different outcomes and just roll for one.
Yeah.
All right, so today we are going to look at the full prediction between us both. Surprise information here. MJ, how much of the Dragon Ball anime have you watched?
I've seen a couple clips on YouTube.
So, vast, accurate information on the anime, right?
Yeah, I've got tons of information. I mean, like, I saw, 3 clips of the different transformations of Goku turning Super Saiyan, Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2, and Goku turning Super Saiyan 3. I've seen those.
That's it. That's it. That is peak Dragon Ball anime. You don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I as a fan, the only thing that I haven't fully watched is the original Dragon Ball anime. I have seen all of Z, I have seen all of Super, I have seen all of the movies, and I'm doing a full reread of the manga myself, so that I can kind of make sure that I'm never getting mixed up on manga plot and anime plot, because that can happen, and a lot of people do only stick to the anime. So I feel that with my, I won't say intellect, but more knowledge of the anime, combined with your knowledge of the manga, we could come to a solid conclusion on what will happen in this new movie's plot.
I think we can.
I think we'll be very, very close. Now, we've in the last 24 hours, we've had a new clip which will definitely add some information, I think, onto our theories of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. So let's start at the very beginning. A good place to start, and I'm going to start with this statement that I believe the trailers are all in chronological order. Usually some films will throw you they'll throw you something at the beginning which is actually from the end of the film, or they kind of mix it all up. But if you look at every single trailer that we've had, it kind of follows the same pattern. That it's the same areas, the same locations. They always start with something on Beerus's world. So I dare say that is the opening scene. Would you agree?
I definitely agree.
Okay, so we're thinking opening scene will be Vegeta, Goku, Broly training with Beerus and Whis. Now, it does look as though Broly is fighting Goku. We can confirm that through the first trailer. Do we think he's going to fight with other people? Maybe Vegeta or Beerus, looking at the trailers?
I'm definitely suspecting a Broly and Beerus interaction, especially because Beerus is gonna come down and think, who's this dude on my planet? Who is this guy? Because if you remember in the last movie, he's looking after Buller. He's not actually. I don't think he's actually seen Broly. He
No.
may be able to sense it,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's actually seen him. So he's like,
We
who
know
is this dude
Whis
on my
has.
planet? Yeah, Whis definitely has.
No, Whis has. So maybe it's Whis that brings it forward to say, hey, why not bring this guy to train on Beerus's world?
Yeah.
It would seem odd for Goku and Vegeta to say, hey, can we get this random guy to come fight over here? Surely they'd have their own places to go and train, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it's Whis that actually has the idea of, we want you all to come here, Beerus has a test for you, or something like that, or we feel that we can do something about this Broly guy, or maybe this has already been going on for a long time and it's been happening in the background and never stated that it's been happening.
Ooh, that's actually a good possibility.
So like,
especially,
they could have been training for a while already under Beerus.
I could see it as a, when you go out with your friends and then your mom forces you to take your little brother with you or something that.
Yeah.
It could be kind of like that situation where like Goku has to train with Whis, but it's like, I have to look after Broly because, I don't know, maybe he's already told Chilai and Neko that he's already looking after them, so
maybe
now he's got to take him to Whis.
Yeah. It's all right. We've got a Whis, just like how it does with Gas. Hey, Gas, deal with this guy. I mean, Whis, deal with this guy.
Yeah, literally like that. And he just like involves him in the training as well.
Yeah, so that crossed with a little bit of information we had in the magazine. We had some cutouts regarding Broly and learning how to control his abilities, and in this little tidbit, it was supposed to be written from the perspective of Broly. And it goes in to say that Super Saiyan Blue is a form that he should aim for. Now, I did a little breakdown on this in a separate video involving the future of the character Broly, but basically how it's looking is it's not necessarily saying he's going to attain Blue, but aiming for how to train for Blue could be absolutely crucial for Broly to not only remain calm, but to understand and control his own abilities and take it further into potentially his own unique form. We've had Goku with his own unique form, we've now got Vegeta with Ultra Ego in the manga. What's not to say that Broly could have his own form where he has like the pure legendary full power Super Saiyan and adds it into his own kind of transformation after having some understanding or training with the God Key.
Yeah, I mean that should make perfect sense. I'm not sure if this is exactly the case because I haven't seen it, but if I recall correctly, in the anime, doesn't Vegeta attain God Key by practicing key control and training with Whis?
Yes.
Or Beerus. So I was thinking if Broly goes around the same direction and learns key control, not only to just control himself and control his power, but to actually get a mastery on the nature of the key. Because also, if you remember, Vegeta actually changes the nature of his key. That's what Goku says in chapter 75 when he transforms.
That's true.
Well, 74.
True. That's true.
So I'm thinking, if Broly can get a taste of his own nature and somehow manipulate it to making it his own form like that, maybe we can see a God transformation that aligns with the way Broly is, with a lot of rage. Yeah. Not necessarily destruction like Vegeta.
Just like raw power.
His Vegeta's key is very fiery. We know Goku's key is very calm. Well, you don't even see it. It's calm. Controlled. So maybe
that's something that you have mentioned before. If you look in the manga panels, a lot of the time when Goku is activating Ultra Instinct, he has no aura. However, there has been a few panels that I've noticed in the last chapter when Vegeta and Goku are having their assault with gas. There is an aura around both of them, and I wasn't 100% sure if it was just a flight animation kind of aura around them both, but they both have a similar aura to what Bardock had in his chapter after he kind of went, right, this is my resolve, and went all in and stuff, which I thought was kind of interesting. I thought they were hinting at kind of them both going in that way.
Well, to be fair, when Goku flies, he has an aura, especially if you read the Goku vs. Moro fight, when he goes perfected Ultra Instinct, he still has an aura when flying.
That's true.
I've been thinking, since he hasn't got a complete mastery of the technique, maybe it does spill out in times where, one, he's transforming, because if you realize sometimes when he transforms, he has an aura, and when he flies, he has an aura. So I'm thinking, if he's concentrating on the flying and
Yeah,
stuff like
it's
that.
removing
Maybe
him
that's
from
when-
the ability.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
That's a good idea.
Or it could be, as you say, maybe there's some foreshadowing that he's copying Bardock in a way, or getting that ability that Bardock had when fighting Gas.
That primal drive.
Yeah.
So this could be the whole arc and reason why the main characters, as such, on Beerus's world are so removed from what's going off on Earth. They're going to be kind of very, very focused and concentrating on what's going off on Beerus's world, and I feel that's how they're going to kind of cover up that they won't magically get to Earth very, very quickly and kind of save the moment at the end of it all, unless something happens later in the film, they catch on to a power or a key signature or something like that, and that immediately makes them stop and go, wow, something's going off back home, we've got to go and help.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that keeps them in one place for the movie, just for the sake of plot.
The thing that's really been highlighting to me is, since Broly is where they are, the biggest key signatures are with them. You got Whis, Broly, Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus, right?
Yeah.
So like any sparking key, unless it matches or outdoes Broly, they're not even going to realize something's going down on Earth.
No, it's going to be very difficult for them to kind of notice that something's happened. And I think that's the safe way of what they've done in the plot, to remove Vegeta and Goku, mainly, from interfering with what's going to go off on Earth in this film.
Exactly.
So we see shortly after this, we see Dr. Hedo kind of walking away from a building and like blowing it up. Now, I've got this secret feeling, given that we've seen images of Shenron, they wouldn't go all the way, they wouldn't go out of their way and animate Shenron and put him into this new art style unless he was in the movie, which means somewhere in the plot line, Dragon Balls are being collected or will be collected and a wish will be made. Now, the question is, what and who is the wish and the scenario surrounding it? Now, I feel the bad guys might be on the lookout for the Dragon Balls in the first place. That's not necessarily to say that they're going to be the ones that use the Dragon Balls, but I have a feeling that in order for there to be Magenta involved and there be more of a criminal mastermind behind the Red Ribbon Army, I feel Hedo is on his projects. So it's as though we've got Gero, which roughly translated, both of them mean the same thing. It's like, it means to throw up. In Japanese, both of those names, Gero and Hedo, both mean to throw up, which makes me think that Hedo is some kind of relation, maybe son, to Gero. And I think that would be...
grandson.
Oh yeah, it could be a grandson.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of young and he was kind of very, very old when he turned himself into an android. But I think that there could potentially be a relation which would potentially put some hatred and involvement towards why he wants to do what he's up to. The Red Ribbon Army maybe contacted him to become his funding. Because in one of the trailers, you see that they are in the limousine kind of car thing that keeps getting pushed for some weird reason. Maybe that's the end boss. Maybe the car is the end boss. But he's sat in the back and he looks very distracted from what Magenta's trying to speak to him about. Which makes it look like, he's trying to tell him and order him around what they want from him, and he's just got his own goals. Which makes me also think that this secret project that's going off is not known, potentially, to the rest of the Red Ribbon Army. It's his own kind of secret project. But from this, we see, obviously, one of the new Gamma androids attacking Piccolo. Piccolo seems to be on his own, and I kind of think that that is a correct scenario. So this is the initial thing that sparks off the Red Ribbon Army's back, because in the trailer, we see Piccolo openly say, that's the mark of the Red Ribbon Army. And he goes to inform Piccolo that he's a superhero. Now, we know there's some kind of connection already between Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, Majin Buu, and even Hercule. It could be potentially the genetic makeup of these new androids. What do you think on that?
What I've been thinking, actually, is on the topic of Hedo being Jiro's son.
Yeah.
Or grandson.
Yeah.
Do you remember the interview that came out? Well, God knows when. speaking about Android 16 and how he was a design of Jiro, the son.
All right. Okay.
What if the inspiration for Hedo to be a superhero in any case might be because of 16 and his design?
Maybe, because 16 was very, very different to 17 and 18. He still had the kill Goku kind of attitude, but he was very, very different in a lot of other respects, right?
Right.
Was 16 fully Android?
Yeah, completely.
Right, yeah.
Because he wasn't he didn't take his son and turn him into Android. He just made an Android in the design of him. Now, also, I'm not sure if you have already touched upon this in the trailer. The photo, there's a guy that looks exactly like Hedo, and I'm thinking maybe he's Jiro's son. Have you seen the superhero trailer in where there's a guy that wears Hedo's outfit?
Yes. It's like almost like he's wearing the same superhero costume, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking he's the direct influence, right?
Oh, so you're thinking there's already some kind of superhero that was or is out there, and he's mimicking him?
Yeah. So either he is unrelated to Jiro and it's just like a superhero, or maybe he's the son of Jiro as well, kind of thing.
Maybe there's been no focus or mention on that other character, but it's possible that he could be involved, or it could even be something as simple as one of the Red Ribbon guards. We know there's a Red Ribbon guard who loses his clothing because Piccolo seems to steal it when he infiltrates the base,
which is insane that it can fit someone's clothes.
Yeah.
Piccolo can fit someone's clothes. He must have done a clothes beam. He must have.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe he did do a clothes beam, and he just was like, "I'm going to copy that guy's clothes, and I'm in." We did have a new trailer recently, or more so a teaser, which is apparently one of 3 that we'll be getting over the next 2 weeks prior to the official release in Japan of the movie. So we are running out of time to kind of, see more, I guess. But this teaser definitely showed us a few more things. We had a little bit more of Vegeta's movement. We also saw a scene where Pan was what could only be described as in a kind of kindergarten school clothes with a bunch of KO'd Red Ribbon goons behind her, and she is in a fighting pose. I think Pan, they're making her out to be a much more of a better badass than they did in GT this time around.
She's like 3 years old.
Yeah, she's taking names.
Yeah, like exactly where Goku started.
Yeah.
Pan's leaving off.
Yeah.
Like, yo, don't mess with Pan.
She's seeking out training through Piccolo. We had a little bit of an interview that I shared with you earlier on regarding some kind of training situation. And it seems to be that Gohan is the one that has, said to Pan, go train with Piccolo. I don't think there's going to be any training with Gohan and Piccolo. I think Piccolo will be training Pan at some point in the film. They make it out that she's definitely training with the water bottle and like the kind of training outfit, and it almost looks like she's trying to hone that Super Saiyan transformation at some point as well. If that was something that was to happen in this film, I think the fandom would absolutely love it. That would be like our first, time that we've had Pan go Super Saiyan. I would have liked to have said it was the first time we'd seen a female Super Saiyan, but then we had Kefla and Kale introduced. So they took that crown, unfortunately.
They would probably reference to Gohan's training just because, though Gohan is like extremely powerful right now, they're making it seem like Gohan is way stronger than ever. So I think they might reference to Gohan training rather than just showing him training. Yeah,
maybe. There is a couple of stills that we've seen for the movie where he's kind of like at work, but he's also in his Piccolo training gi. We'll call it gi, but it's more like, his weighted cape and purple gi. So we have seen a little image of that, which means at some point he's obviously training and working, but maybe... It's hard to say. Maybe he had been training with Piccolo, or he was planning to go to train with Piccolo, and this is where he finds out about the whole Red Ribbon situation as well through Piccolo. We know Piccolo will infiltrate the base. Now, the base seems to be very, very secretly hidden away in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere, and there is some kind of shield over the top of the base. In some of the images and trailers, you can see lines in the sky, and in the latest trailer you can see where there is an explosion of energy. This shield bends around the actual energy that blasts up and out, as though it's containing it within the base to not allow it to escape and kind of get out into the world, which for the Red Ribbon Army seems a little bit sus. Really. Why would they want to contain energy in there unless they had to contain something seriously powerful?
Well, that's exactly it. You have your very, very big you got the two androids who are like somehow keeping up with Gohan and Piccolo, which
maybe more
still
so.
yeah. So like just in general, they've been dealing with white destructive power.
Yeah.
Just to pack it into those two in general.
Yeah.
Plus any other experiments that they did before and after. It
Oh,
seems
that's
that like
true. Imagine if we get some tidbits about failed operations along the way.
I'd actually like really enjoy that.
Yeah.
To see what's failed, see some other androids that they would have made, and all the projects they got going on. Because there's no way they just made these two off the bat. Like
No,
there must
they
be
could have been
a
drafts.
process.
Oh, we could see, like, maybe this information came from Giro, and it was, like, you know, stored on some kind of hard drive, and there was, like, leftover data from the projects of 16, 17, and 18, and we get to, like, see these kind of graphs and diagrams and drawings up on, like, walls of, like, the original ideas for, like, 16, 17, 18, and maybe, dare I say, Cell? A lot of people speculating that the big bad villain is gonna be Cell. The question is it gonna be the Cell as we remember him, or is it going to be potentially an upgraded Cell? I mean, given what happens in the movie, it must be an upgraded version if we've got Cell coming back.
I'm kind of hoping it's like the same process as Cell,
Yeah.
but it's not Cell because because Cell's only strong because they're using specific cells from Frieza, which was from Namek.
Yep.
Goku from the Saiyan Saga.
Yep.
And like Piccolo from Saiyan Saga. Like
they've definitely got new samples, haven't they? Like we think, I think we both agreed on this, that the big screens are potentially lists and information on what samples they've gathered to maybe upgrade either the big main threat project, or they've taken elements of all of these characters and put them into kind of Gamma 1 and 2 to create, because they are listed as two separate characters. They're very, very different in how they act and what they do, which could mean that they've actually taken on personality traits. Like one that's showboaty and loud could have some of Hercule's traits. And that's where that one comes from. And then one could be stupid and wants to eat all the time because it's got Majin Buu's traits, you know? I think that would be a nice way if they were to separate them that way. Or it could just be the fact that all these samples have all been gathered and put into a Cell 2.0 or whatever this big bad villain is at the end.
For sure. I'm thinking as well that when it comes to the two androids, I'm thinking there might be a component that they don't have, which the final villain's gonna have. Now, who that's about, I'm not sure. We could speculate it might be Broly, maybe. Thinking that the power like goes everywhere and like is completely uncontrolled at the end.
Oh, that could be interesting. If they took, if we hadn't seen it, but they actually had new cells and they were from the Broly fight on Earth.
On Earth, yeah. I'm thinking like maybe this new project that they've got going on, it goes out of control because of the magnitude of Broly's power. Maybe.
That could be interesting. That could be. It's definitely more of a theory than anything else that we've got. But something was said about the whole situation and what goes off in this film, and that was that Gohan experiences his awakening. So we know that the Red Ribbon Army kidnaps Pan. However, if you look closely in the trailer, you can see that the goon that's actually holding Pan up in the air is none other than Piccolo, still in disguise, hiding behind the scenes. He's got even his hand holding Pan's feet up in the air, whilst it looks like he's kind of holding her by the scruff of her collar. So he's not actually hurting her. But the Red Ribbon Army have clearly taken Pan in what I dare say is a bait specifically to get Gohan. There is definitely a link between the Red Ribbon Army here and Gohan, whether it be they know he's the Great Saiyaman and they deem him not a true superhero, or this is genuine revenge for destroying Cell. And they knew about everything that happened, and they want to start by testing this project, or projects, against the one target that was able to foil the entire Red Ribbon Army's final hope of world, if not universal, with Cell, domination.
Don't forget that what made Cell was the supercomputer rather than Jiro himself. Jiro only
That's
started
true.
making biological androids.
That's true.
So it wouldn't be specifically Cell they're avenging, but maybe the whole project. I could see
Maybe.
definitely the whole project.
Yeah, the projects as
But
opposed to specifically Cell. That does make more sense. You're right.
yeah. And as for Piccolo and Pan, I suspect Pan knows us Piccolo.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she does, and she's
And
kind of going along with it.
I suspect they're acting. That because obviously they need to get out of there, and Gamma 1 and 2 are kind of cracked.
Yeah,
It's not like they can just waltz out of there. Maybe they're actually trying to motivate Gohan as well, trying to unlock his whatever is deep down within him to
Maybe.
get that awakening.
That's possible. We know for a fact that Piccolo has a brand new shiny transformation, and when I say shiny, I should say smooth transformation, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So Piccolo's finally had an upgrade. We've no true idea as to how strong this form is. It kind of looks... I'm not even gonna lie. It kind of looks strange on the eye, seeing Piccolo smooth.
Yeah, definitely.
He's gone from Pickle to, like, I don't know, not Pickle.
I'm thinking, where does he transform? Because it's not at nighttime, so it's before the movie ends. It's like mid-movie.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That makes me think, does he lose? Like, that's so deep if they give him a new transformation and he loses.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. In the new trailer, we get our first look at Trunks, Goten, Gohan, and Piccolo all fighting. However, the scenes are cut where we do not see who they're fighting. So, this is literally 4 of our heroes against potentially 1, 2, or 3 different enemies. Now, I've got information that the end of this film... Well, basically, there's going to be 3 stages of fighting in this film. Gohan is meant to go through 3 separate fights. So, we have Fight 1, which I think is specifically against 1 android. It's Gamma 1 first, I think, right? I think it's Gamma 1 first. Then I think Fight 2 will progress to Gamma 1 and 2, and I think that will be classed as fight number 2. And then fight 3 will be the final boss that comes out of the giant egg at the end. But we do see Gohan transform from Super Saiyan and go into his full potential unlocked form once again. And my God, does the animation in this new teaser look insanely good. I had not many high hopes for how this 3D CGI was going to go. And then I saw that transformation that dropped the other day, and holy crap, did that look nice.
Yeah, it looks great. It's amazing.
They are really hyping up this end fight. So there's a few other bits here that kind of make me predict what's going to happen. But this final boss, I believe, will be also a threat to Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. In the Japanese arcade game, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, you can now play as Gamma 1, Gamma 2, as well as Piccolo with his potential unlocked and Gohan with his potential unlocked. We've kind of had these all teased for some time now, but nothing else outside of that. Now, there is an ultimate attack that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 do, and you have guest characters join them in this kind of almost Power Ranger-esque looking power-up of energy, and like all these different colors of like 5 characters where all their energy comes. Was it 5? It might have even been more. But they basically like pose almost and fly into the air all together at the same time, and these are with other hero units. And they all have a separate color for their ki, and all their ki kind of gathers together into one giant attack, and then it attacks the enemy. So I think maybe this end boss doesn't absorb Gamma 1 and 2 like some people are speculating, but maybe they know it's a threat, and as their titles are superheroes, they know it's a threat to everyone. So they must join up with Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks and Goten, or Gotenks, in order to beat this end boss. And I feel that it's going to be almost like a battle royale style final battle, and it's going to be lots and lots of people attacking one target. What do you think about
that? I'm definitely agreeing with you, actually. For the only thing I'm speculating is when Goten and Trunks fuse and it doesn't work. I'm thinking it happens before, and then they're like, sod it, we're gonna have to like freestyle this.
We definitely
And, like,
see them
so
separate, don't we? In this new trailer, they're both separate, confirmed.
yeah. Also, can they defuse
They have
while
to
fighting?
wait. They have to wait 30 minutes, don't they? But we've had scenarios where fusions have kind of found plot armor or a loophole in order to not be a permanent thing or to break quicker. We've had in Super, obviously, with Vegito, and the fusion popping off quicker than it should have done, and it had been a kind of a retcon that it wasn't a permanent thing. Now, it is what it is. It gives more explanation to what happened in the Boo saga when the fusion did split, but it would seem mental that Elder Kai nor Supreme Kai knew that was the case with the Potara earrings. But that's not to say that they could purposely drain the power of fusion or something like that specifically to speed it up, but Metamoran fusion seems to be the more stable fusion out of all of them so far.
Yeah. So yeah, as for the fusion, I don't even know if it will even happen in this scene. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if you have to wait half an hour, then there's no way. Unless he like literally gets beat up the entire time. Maybe. And he like defuses like that. Like if you saw Kefla versus Goku when Goku like breaks off the Potara and they like split apart. Yeah. Could happen like that. So like I'm thinking maybe fusion doesn't even happen in this scene. So maybe they are just all fighting together as one.
Yeah.
And without seeing Gotenks.
Yeah, maybe. Like maybe it's even because Gotenks, or at least Fat Gotenks, has been used in promotional material. Now, does this mean that they may be fused together to show Pan fusion because she's never seen it, and then they mess it up because they're out of practice? Could it be something as like just a little bit of that Toriyama kind of comedy moment of, oh yeah, we're really strong, we're stronger than your dad, watch this, fusion pop turns into Fat Gotenks?
Potentially.
It could be something as silly as that. Like, it's just one of those curveballs of, oh, here, this happened. It's like, oh, here we go, the same old joke. Rehashed again for another movie. No, actually, they're using it in a different way this time. Like, which would be nice.
Yeah.
That could also be the reason why we see them separate. They might say, well, look, we haven't fused in years. We're really out of practice, and if we risk fusing now, we might be less of a help than we would be if we just stayed in our normal separate forms and just went Super Saiyan.
Right. One thing I wanted to note as well, do Gohan and Trunks have gi? Because like in the movie, they're fighting in like casual clothing. That's
true. That's true.
I was gonna say maybe they've been interrupted or whatever they were doing to fight. But I'm thinking, wait, do they ever actually have gi? Or maybe they knew the whole time. That's the one thing I've been thinking about.
Maybe. It looks definitely like they've kind of caught onto something that's happened and both been kind of brought into the situation, right? It doesn't look like, they've been training or they've been caught kind of off guard from what's going off and had to kind of instantly get to where they need to get to help. But that again could point towards them, being out of practice.
I'm really thinking about exactly.
And then I guess this leads us to the final part of the film, which would be, who is the big bad and who could it be? There's a speculation on many different things. Right now, all signs seem to point to Cell. There's no official confirmation. We may get some more teaser information even before this video officially gets up on YouTube. So if it does, and our prediction is right, then awesome. If it's wrong, then we tried. But I do think this is going to be a new and improved version of Cell. Originally, I was like, oh, cool, maybe they were going to do 21 until an interview with, I can't remember who it was, but there was an interview article somewhere printed, and they specifically said that character comes back, or it was he comes back. I think it was the return of that character. I think that was the exact phrasing used on this interview. And I can't remember what interview it was, who said it, where it was from, where it came from, but it specifically said that character returns.
So, then it wouldn't make sense for it to be 21.
No. So that immediately scrapped off 21 for me. But they could also, in the same sense that they used Broly and they redid Broly to, quote-unquote, make him canon, they've been reusing ideas. Like, originally in the manga, there was rumor that the Bojack Brigade were to come into the story. Now, a lot of people have made a lot of comparisons between the Bojack Grenade and the Heaters. In a sense, there's some similarities, more so in the team layout than anything else. They're like a family. They've got their own thing. They're doing one thing. They're trying to rule the universe in their own way, which is a similar thing to what the Bojack Brigade did. But it wasn't a carbon copy of what they were. There's too many differences, other than the fact that, the member count. But that was the initial rumor that was going to happen in the Super manga, that they were going to be brought into the story. And it's ironic that that was the rumor, and then we get the Heaters, which is kind of a better version. I'm going to say better because they are better. A better version of the Bojack Brigade. So what's not to say that maybe this is a new or returned version of Android 13 or hell, Super 17. What if they went further forward from GT and they went, let's do Super 17? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's thought of that. Maybe they just think, hey, we'll catch everybody off guard. We'll reuse this and we'll make that become like a canon situation, if you will.
I would much rather prefer that than Cell, because at least with the redesigned movie characters, they're somewhat original.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing back Cell, it's genuinely not, because that's a Toriyama idea.
Yeah.
Whereas Toriyama didn't come up with the other ideas. So,
well, arguably, Toriyama didn't come up with Cell. If I remember, isn't there a bunch of interviews? Basically, it was his his co-editor or something like that came up with the original idea for Cell.
Ooh, potentially.
I think.
But even then,
somebody else did come up with it.
Yeah, but even then, he still wrote the story, which contained Cell. If you get what I'm trying to say, he still did the characterization for Cell.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's done already, and in the sense that the only thing we're gonna get from Cell now is cool abilities and fights.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna get a new personality, a new characterization.
Yeah.
Which we need. So I'm thinking if they rehashed a movie character, at least it would still feel somewhat original, like how Broly did, because Broly had Toriyama's characterization in it.
Yeah.
So it still feels somewhat new.
That's fair. Speaking of character development as such, we know Piccolo has got his new form. We've seen it in the trailers and stuff like that. We've technically seen Gohan. That's not to say he could go even further beyond, if you will. In this movie, from what we've been shown, there is a scene in this new trailer which makes me think about what the hell's happening in this film. But one of the attacks in the new teaser looks a lot like Boo's extinction attack.
Oh, right.
So you can see it's all pink, it shoots up in the air, and it all starts raining down. It looks very, very similar to that attack. Now, we know Piccolo's ki is not that color anymore since he's got his new transformation, because we can see him in the new teaser using a special beam cannon. The entire color of that attack is no longer purple with kind of like the swirl around it. It looks completely different. It looks more aggressive. The key's bigger on it. The charge up time may be non-existent because I think it happens very quickly. But it's all like a bright orangey yellow kind of colored key. It looks really nice, but we also see a moment where Piccolo looks as though he's taking some serious damage and he's falling through the air, and we see an orange light which also matches that same color. Maybe Piccolo goes further than what he's already done, or maybe Piccolo dies in this movie, which unlocks Gohan's next level of potential, and the Dragon Balls are used to resurrect Piccolo.
Yeah, that could work. I was thinking of how could that not work, and just seeing what we could do from there, but that could actually work.
Yeah, once upon a time, if Piccolo was to die, Dragon Balls have gone. Now, we've got Dende. Dende is the one who's connected to the Dragon Balls, not Piccolo. So if Piccolo was to die, that would actually be a brand new catalyst for Gohan to evolve further in this fight, potentially the push that he needed to go further, and to wish Piccolo back using the Dragon Balls. We know that the Dragon Balls are used in this film, and I can't see the bad guys being able to use it with everything that's going off. It looks more so like we will use the Dragon Balls to correct whatever the hell's gone off.
Yeah, that could work. That also makes sense as to why I'm not sure if you saw Toriyama made some comments about Gohan and Piccolo's relationship. I presume.
Yeah.
And he comments on how much he cares about Piccolo, and it's like, why did he even mention that?
Yeah.
Unless maybe something happens to Piccolo which causes Gohan to awaken.
Exactly.
So yeah, that could work.
I think that would be the perfect catalyst for Gohan to take his ultimate form even further. You know, we had it teased. I can't remember if it's ever stated in the manga, but I know in the anime, which I guess is, you know, it's the same realm. Gohan had said that he was looking to push his abilities and find his own way forward to keep up with the likes of Goku and Vegeta. And we're getting a lot of this, you know, a lot of these unique transformations for characters. Gohan being a hybrid Saiyan gives him the potential to unlock something new and unique, in the same sense that Trunks had his Rage form, which is also something which is unique to Trunks. We've got Vegeta and Goku with their unique forms, with the potential for Broly to have his unique form. There is nothing at this point to say that Gohan, with his already unique form, with his potential unlocked, can't go further into something next level of that ability.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking the new transformation that he uses, I don't want it to be too different in terms of how it looks.
Yeah.
Simply because he's got his potential unleashed, and had he, I don't know, gone like, I can't even think of a hair color that I haven't used. Like say he had like, obviously he's not, but let's say he had like brown hair or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like remove the essence of him having this potential unleashed.
Yeah.
So like it still has to look somewhat the same, not exactly the same, but it still has to have that same kind of design of, you know,
noticeable difference, but yeah.
Yeah, not too drastic. I don't think his hair color should change.
Kind of how like Ultra Instinct Sign just had the slight silver tips. He had frosted tips. I'm gonna say it. Goku had frosted tips when he was like tapping into UI.
Yeah. Don't you mean pupils? Oh, you're talking about the hair.
Yeah, the hair. Yeah, the hair. He had like frosted tips. The hell were you thinking of?
I was just thinking of his eyes. I'm like,
yeah, his eyes did change. Yeah, his eyes did change. You're right. Yeah, he got the silver ring and frosted tips.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he should still have the same kind of design in terms of his hair. Like his hair can change, but just not the color.
Yeah. I think changing, like we've had enough color changes on her now. We've had white, we've had red. We've had blue, we've had green, obviously we've had yellow. Technically we've had brown, which is more, you know, it's GT, fair enough, but it's kind of already there. What else could it be? Like, we've got purple now. Like, we're running out. And if they can't use something again that's already been used. Well, we just went bald instead.
Or maybe Nappa had like...
Yo, is this Gohan Blanco coming into fruition?
Yeah, but yeah, I generally think his hair should stay black.
Yeah,
if
I
he
agree.
gets any transformation, just keep it black.
Yeah, I agree.
You can, for all we care, make a Raditz reference or Super Saiyan 3 reference. Do what you need to do.
Oh yeah, his hair could grow longer.
Just keep it black, please.
What was if he just like had like red lines appear around his eyes or something like that? Like, you know, like something that they could steal from like Super Saiyan 4 or something like that?
The fandom would be pissed.
Yeah, I think
where
they
did
would.
That come from?
I think they would. I think if anybody was going to get a transformation close to that kind of thing, it would be Broly. Now that they've hammered home, yo, Broly encompasses Uzaru. He's like the living great ape in a Saiyan body and all this kind of thing. It's like he would be the one to have something akin to a Super Saiyan 4 transformation because it fits more in with the style and the ideas behind it. And I think SS4 is one of the most rawest and best looking transformations, if I'm honest.
I think they had a missed opportunity of not making a hybrid form between Uzaru and Broly's Saiyan form.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like they just gave him all the strength of the Uzaru, and it's like, so now that any hypothetical hybrid wouldn't even make sense because he's really got the power of it. So like, what does he need to go hybrid for?
Yeah,
which kind of like missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's why I think that back to the first thing that we said about this the whole Broly situation. Maybe his next transformation will encompass more of it, and it will become more physical. So maybe he could get bigger. Imagine if he got a little bit bigger than he already is. He's already a Hulk. So if he got a little bit bigger and he had more of the fur come through, like on his like arms and upper body or something, his face slightly changed or something. I don't know. Like they could do something really special and unique for him. And I think he could potentially be the potential true candidate for the next God of Destruction as well. That way we still have Goku and Vegeta in our storyline continuing forward, and Broly can just spend time with Whis and Beerus getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Intentionally. Does Broly have the intelligence to be a God of Destruction though?
He would have the
only lived on
guidance of Whis.
Vampire.
I mean, come on. We've seen Champa. Champa's a moron. So anything
Yeah.
goes, I think.
I hear that.
We've covered a lot of stuff. Maybe is there anything else that you think you can add into the plot of what you think might happen or what you'd like to happen?
Well, we still need to talk about who and or how Gamma 1 and 2 will be defeated.
Oh, if they are defeated.
Yeah, part of me thinking they recognize themselves as superheroes.
Yeah.
Does it make sense for them to be killed?
I don't think it does. I think they've got bad guidance, which could be changed. Especially
Exactly.
if Gohan becomes stronger than everybody. They're just going to be like, we can't do anything about you. But you saved the Earth because you killed the bad guy, so we respect you now. It could be something like that.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to see why they would kill the Gammas. If they I could see them being destroyed by like maybe another villain, like
Yeah.
the bad villain at the end. I could see that happen.
If they did get absorbed, for example, and they were just collateral damage of the end game fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if they genuinely believe they're superheroes and the only threat they pose is to Gohan, then them dying doesn't actually make sense.
No,
So I'm
it
thinking
wouldn't.
if that's exactly why I put if they're even defeated.
Yeah, I actually really fully agree with that. They are new characters, and I think, nowadays with the way that Dragon Ball is, there is a whole separate entity in the real world, and that is merchandising. Merchandise is what is ultimately going to keep this alive outside of the manga. We've got the movies. The movie is the first movie we've had in years. It seems like forever, and they need to really do the usual cashing in on Dragon Ball. And I feel that if they kept Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 alive going forward, that only opens up new and more doors for Toei, at least, to make more money off of it. In the same sense that Broly was saved and wasn't killed, and like Broly's a massive fan favorite, huge fan favorite. They would be stupid to kill him off.
But yeah, literally right now, 100%. Endgame, I could see them killing Broly off, but right now, it wouldn't even make sense.
No, would not. He's featured in one film. He's had a bunch of merchandise come out. I mean, hell, I prefer new Broly over old Broly, 100%. And I think I've only got like one. I have like one figure of Broly, and it's a big thing. And like I wish I could get more, but all of them are huge because he's such a unit.
Yeah, literally. He's enormous. And he grew up on Vampire, where it's like one of the most dangerous planets
It's
we've
like
ever seen.
completely I can't even say the word. Can't live there.
Yeah. So like,
And the food's trash and all that stuff, and now he's actually having someone look out for him. Like, his dad realistically used him as a weapon, always did, always had done. He's gonna have people look after him properly now. We've got Chilai and Limo. Goku and Vegeta they'll be fair with him, and they'll want to train with him and obviously get the most out of him and help him. So I think Broly will be in good hands and will potentially be seen much more often. I'd like to say in the manga. I'd like to say that the manga, after Granola, gets Broly involved in a storyline. I was hoping that when Goku was doing the instant transmission, spoiler alert if you haven't read the manga, I was hoping that Goku, when he was using instant transmission, would just appear on Vampa and be like, yo, Gas, this is Broly, say hi, I've got to go, bye. And just let them have it all out whilst they could like kind of recuperate and then go back to Vampa to finish the job off when they'd all healed. But no, he left him with Whis instead, which is even stronger than Broly, but not as fun.
Yeah. So for the Gamma 1 and 2s, if they get defeated, who do you think it will be?
I think it will be a collective effort. If
Right.
if Gohan and Piccolo with their fully fledged up-to-date transformations can't beat them, this is obviously assuming if Gohan doesn't evolve further than his ultimate form or potential unlocked form even. If that's not enough to beat those two, then there's no one else on Earth who can, which would mean that Goku, Vegeta would have to get involved and then add even more numbers to the fight. Who knows? We could get another something teased. We've already seen this pod actually opening now on the latest teaser trailer. We could see something as small as Goku, Vegeta, and Broly appearing on Earth from an instant transmission move, and that's it. We don't know if that's the end of the fight, the middle of the fight, before. We don't know. Anything like that could happen in a teaser. which could completely shift what we feel we've got nailed down.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a wild thing. I wouldn't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, like if we got the next trailer next week and all this fighting's going off and all of a sudden it just shows you a small pan of, instant transmission. We just see Goku, Vegeta, and Broly all just stood there looking serious as hell, but beaten all up because they've obviously been training. And then the trailer just ends there. It's just like, oh, so it's that serious that those guys get involved? It's like that would increase hype tenfold for this film.
I don't want it to happen, though.
I know what you mean. Like, I want it to be Gohan's, not so much Gohan's sole achievement, but the guys on Earth, I want to give them a shot.
Because what's the point of giving them their own movie?
Yeah.
Like, it is clearly everyone else's. I'm going to call it the everyone else. I was going to say the Gohan movie, but like Piccolo, Goten, Trunks as well. Let's be fair to the Piccolo fans and the Goten and Trunks fans, right? It's their movie.
Yeah, it is.
Let them have their movie.
We even know 18 and Krillin are going to be in this. Now, is Krillin potentially reporting on these superheroes? Because he's a police officer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then maybe they have some kind of situation where Krillin's like, maybe they've saved the day. Gamma 1 and 2 have been involved in a situation. They've saved the day. And Krillin's like, oh, thank you. Like, who are you guys? Oh, we are superheroes, blah, 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 blah. And 18 is the one that goes, they're androids. And then it's like, oh, what?
Maybe... I mean, they have Red Ribbon Army tags and all.
They do. They do, to be fair. They do. Which is, I think, even Krillin would know that symbol anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely involvement between those two. I'm surprised 17's not been coined to be in this film. He might be yet as a surprise thing. We don't know.
Then they already released the full roster of everyone going to be there except from the hidden characters. Or I might be wrong.
Okay. If that poster's accurate, then no 17, which is a shame because MVP.
Yeah. We'll see him later.
Yeah.
We'll see him later.
He'll be back.
But yeah, I'm thinking Gohan loses to Gamma 1 and 2 in the first fight. I don't want Gohan to lose a 1v1.
No, I feel the 1v1 Gohan's gonna up the ante, and he will be enough for one of them, and then the other one is like, I'm tagging in with you because you need help. At which point Piccolo will be like, well, let's make it 2-on-2, and then together they can get stronger somehow, and then that's when more people start joining. I feel that this is honestly going to end in some huge battle royale.
Do you remember how future Gohan dies in the old TV special?
Oh yeah, when the androids basically kill him.
Imagine they do a rescene of that, but like with their guns instead of their hands, kind of thing.
Oh, what? And they kill Piccolo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think they're that.
They kill Piccolo. And then Gohan just rages out, and it's literally just like almost like how you say with the Future Trunks special, and he transforms, and it's just absolute chaos. Something obviously causes this pod to pop open, and that could be the no. They wouldn't give Gohan a more powerful form before the end boss. They'd have to do it when he's there.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking maybe Gohan gets defeated first time like that.
Maybe. It's possible.
But yeah.
And also, it's confirmed there's 3 fights for Gohan in this film.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
The first fight, obviously he can't go full power because that's what Piccolo says to him in the Red Ribbon base. So in the first fight, I'm assuming either he's holding back or he just can't access his power.
Yeah, can't.
More leaning towards holding back.
Yeah, I would be as well.
Because if Piccolo just goes, you can go full power now, it's like, why didn't you do that from the start? He must have been holding back for a reason.
Yeah.
I think he might be holding back for a reason. So,
maybe it's so then Pan doesn't get injured.
Potentially.
Could be something like that. But yeah, ultimately, I feel that most of this film is out there in the open already. You've just got to kind of connect the dots. Like you said, that's what you do. You look at the end scenario, you connect the dots of how they've got from point A to point Z, and they've basically just, mapped out the whole thing. The only mystery for us now is who or what is inside that pod at the end of the film.
So we've already speculated the androids,
Yep.
the old androids.
Yep.
We've speculated Cell.
Yep.
We've this kind of dismissed Android 21.
Yep.
I think that's all there is to really speculate on.
There can't really be anything else, can there?
Can't be Janemba. That'd piss me off. That would.
Same.
Oh,
I think Janemba, as far as a villain went, wasn't great. He just had really cool abilities.
Yeah, I think the concept of his abilities as well were really cool, especially the fact that he can alter reality in a way that the dead and the living are together.
Yeah.
Which, like, that could be such an amazing arc now for someone like Goku meeting Bardock. Even if they don't meet, even if like it's Vegeta on Bardock, like even that itself would be amazing.
Yeah.
You can get so many answers for so many things, and it like Janemba's so much potential. But that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
It is. Yeah, we should do that. We can do a breakdown of like the good points of the movies that they've done in the past and how they could do it better going forward.
Yeah,
that would be a cool one.
It definitely is not BoJack. I think everyone knows it's not BoJack.
Yeah, no BoJack
in this movie.
God damn it, BoJack!
Can this pod potentially have Boo's influence?
I think so. The pod is very reminiscent of Boo's egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very reminiscent of Boo's egg. Is that a creative choice? Is it an intentional choice? I mean, at this point, you'd like to think that, Toriyama does things intentionally, right?
Yeah.
It's not too deep. It's not that deep, bro. But yeah, dude, I appreciate your time with us today. It's been great. Do you want to give any shout-outs or let people know what you're up to or anything like that?
Shout out JD. JD gave me a couple of ideas I'm going to do on Twitter.
Cool.
So what was I going to say?
I said cool.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I have so many shout-outs, but we'll do that another time. What I will say is, so right now I'm watching the Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yep.
Just pretty much enjoying that.
Yep.
And I'm waiting for this arc to end in terms of what the manga's gonna do.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm gonna finish discussing the Moro arc. Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc.
Yeah.
Get all of that done. Do the Galactic. We just said that. Gonna do the Granola arc.
Yep.
And then I'm off to do Jacko.
Jacko the Galactic Patrolman.
While the next arc builds up.
I just read that recently as well. It's fun. It's
like,
a fun little manga. It is.
Yeah. I feel like it's the characterization which I found phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was like, Toriyama, chill, bro.
Yeah, you can see a huge difference in the characters throughout that entire manga. If you haven't read the Jacko manga, go pick it up. Have a read. Read it. Definitely follow MJ on Twitter as well. I'll leave all of his links down in the description below if you want to hit him up. And look out for future threads and theories and predictions that he will be no doubtably posting very soon on his Twitter account.
Thanks.
Yeah, dude, I have appreciated your time. Again, I've had a blast with this. I think we've got this nailed down. Would love to do more stuff in future if you're up for it.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
Amazing. Would love to, dude. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning on in. I hope you have stuck with us because this one is probably going to be the longest one I've ever done. But yeah, look forward to the movie. There will be more trailers and stuff coming out over the upcoming days. And we will all be seeing the movie, no doubt. When it does come out, I will do a reaction to walking in, watching it, and walking out, and we'll do some reviews, and we'll chat about it afterwards, hopefully.
Awesome.
Right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.